Hello everyone, here I am doing my second YouTube video. I decided to do this because I feel like it's really important that people know the truth. Sorry, I'm looking at my cat. And I'm titling it Identity and Spiritual Awakening. I'm taking a look at my notes over here as I speak. I understand identity, I would say probably 99% of what identity actually is. And it is a huge component of waking up and being in full power, being in your complete power over your reality. So I wanted to share this with you, what I understand about identity. So I've been going through many ego deaths my entire life. More as an adult. I mean, yeah, because that is typical. And I don't know, just a side note, I know there's people that follow astrology, and I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart, even though I am a Pisces. Scorpio is very connected to ego deaths. And ego death is a big component of identity. So I would describe, and I mentioned this a little bit in my last video, that I would describe, there's two facets of ego death, the way I see it. It's like branches of what it means, what an ego death actually is. So I would consider one type of ego death, something life-changing, and that's connected to this particular reality. This could be a tragic accident. You end up in the hospital. It could even be something like finding out your significant other's been cheating for 20 years. Things like that are actually connected to in this matrix that we're living in, and that affect your life in this matrix. So another type of ego death has to do with consciousness expansion. And those are the kinds, let's see, I've been through a lot of both, but more so since I began a really intense spiritual awakening around 2020. Those are the ones that I've experienced significantly since then, where I'm gradually spiritually awakening to the point where I understand more and more of what reality truly is and who I am. And it has to do with realizing that you are not the person you're portraying. I mean, it's an aspect of who you are, but you are a soul who's portraying this person who you are playing. You are a character, is a great way to think of it. And we get attached to these characters because we forget that we are souls. We are souls, and these bodies are temporary. And it can be confusing because many of you, I know, you believe in spirits. You leave your body when you die. So from what I understand, there's a memory, the soul memory of the body of the character you played. So that's why people sometimes see ghosts and they look like the person they knew, because it was someone that soul portrayed. Yeah, so and one of the hardest things for me, and I think for a lot of people, is forgetting who you truly are until you go through spiritual awakening, and then the layers start coming off. That is exactly how I see it, and visions is layers releasing, your memory coming back. It's the soul amnesia. because you chose to forget. Because if you didn't forget, you wouldn't learn as much. You need to forget. So where just want to get my train of thought for a moment. Basically, okay. You forget, and I may get into that a little bit more in a different video at some point. The waking up part, it's I don't know if I should say this. It's a mindfuck. Let's put it that way. Okay? It just is. That's the best way to describe it. Because you're like, holy shit, this is not what I thought my reality really is. And I'm at the point now. So as I started meditating deeply, I began to feel God. I call it the Creator, our Creator. And I would be triggered into remembering, and then I would tell myself, I remember to help it stick. And I remember things that I had forgotten. Like I mentioned in my last video, flying over my backyard as a little girl. I remember being close to God, the Creator. I call it the Creator source. That's how I usually refer to our Creator. I can hear a voice. And for me, it varies based on, so this is what God told me, that the voice I hear varies based on the vibration I'm in. Like it has to do with me and what I want the Creator to sound like at the time, and I'm not conscious of that. It just comes out that way. Sometimes and there's two parts to the Creator in general. There's a mother God consciousness, and there's a father God consciousness. So it all depends on what you need, at the time. So I'll hear sometimes a female voice, sometimes a male voice, sometimes I just sense messages. That was one of the toughest things for me to wrap my head around, like early on in this awakening, the fact that I sense communication. And I mean, another aspect is there's the higher self, and my higher self told me that is the version of me that is connected to this incarnation that I created in order to help me in this lifetime. And we all have one. It's pretty brilliant. I mean, you should tell yourself how damn brilliant you are for creating that, because that's always around. Life is really hard as a human. I absolutely believe that. But we create this for ourselves. It's pretty awesome. I mean, come on. It's pretty badass to do that. So literally I can hear myself, and I'm a while back I was able to figure out, like, that is my higher self. That is not me as this incarnation talking. I can tell the difference. So I just wanted to give you that little overview of what identity is. There's many, I could talk for a long time about it because it's complicated, but that's an overview, and I'm hoping that it will start activating you. What I mean by that is activating your memories returning, because you have full power. You're an aspect of the Creator. That's pretty freaking powerful. You act through the Creator. The Creator gave you free will, even though it is you. It's a piece of this other entity. Since I had a little noisy kitty chatting here, thought I'd show you her because she's adorable. This is my little Daisy. Maybe you couldn't hear her, I'm not sure, but you know, since she was noisy, I thought I'd show her too. All right. I hope that helped you or will help you in some way. And I love you guys. Thanks for watching. You can watch anybody. You watched me. That's pretty cool. All right. Love you. Bye.